Hello everyone and welcome to your Fluid Health and Fitness video tutorial on getting started with your initial user sign up. What you'll want to do is log in to virtual.fluidhealthandfitness.com, and if you go to the primary page, what you'll notice is that it's going to bring you to a login. This is my existing credentials. I'm going to go down to sign up, and there it's going to pull you into your initial login page. You're going to want to put in your general information. I'm going to use a generic here for today's purposes. You'll choose what pathway you're going to embark on. It's going to have some impact on your user experience down the road, so it's either going to be under mobility or movement focus, or weight loss and weight management focus. So we're going to say mobility for the day. It's going to ask you to accept the terms and conditions. Make sure to read through the information completely, and once you've agreed to it, hit I agree. Now once that's completed, you can sign in, and this is going to begin your user profile. So once you get to this page, it's going to ask you a few more pieces of biofeedback information. So your height, I'm going to put in some generics here again, your date of birth, and gender, as well as a phone number, and then email. So we'll use a generic again today, and then create a password. You can always reset your password from the main screen, so if you forget it, just know that there is a password reset function. So once you're done with that, you'll hit submit information, and then that would bring you to the beginning of your login process. Now once you're done with that, it's going to ask you to fill out a physical activity readiness questionnaire. This is important as it allows you to participate in exercise. If you answer yes to any of the questions below, you will need to provide us with a reason why you answered yes and a release from your general practitioner saying that you are ready and able to engage in activity. So that is something that you'll want to make note of if you answer yes to any of these questions. If not, you can hit I have read and understand the questionnaire, hit submit, and it will bring you to the main page. So here's the actual login dashboard, and we have a list of action items for you to complete before you would meet with your personal trainer or movement specialist for your initial Core 6 movement screen. So if you could complete all of these ahead of time, that would be great. The exception to that would be this complete elite heart rate variability sign up. That's going to be done with your trainer. Once again, all of these items would be listed under notifications on your left navigation sidebar. So if you click on this, again, it will bring up that same page. You can always return home, and then it will bring you to your main dashboard. And that brings us to the end of your user profile setup. Once you've created a user profile, you'll have access to all the functionalities that the site provides. You'll notice on the left nav bar, there's several areas that you can access. For this tutorial, we're going to show you how to get into the virtual option. When you click on the virtual setting, it gives you two different drop downs. You can access it as a client for one-on-one training services through a video conference option, or you can do a streaming group class. If you want to access the schedule for the group classes, you can click on the calendar icon here, and you'll see the available classes that are offered throughout the week. Each of these classes is streamed live through the site. You can click on view details to see what the type of the class is, what the core values are, the length of the program, and again, the individual that would be teaching. Once you know what class you want to attend, you can go back to the group outline, click on this, and it will pull up a streaming video. If the class is live, it will then launch the video for you to see, and this is how you would engage with the class. Know that we use an immersive experience by using a motion capture technology that follows the trainers throughout the studio, and it zooms in on them, maintaining a depth of field, so it's as if you are actually in the class and watching and participating from the comfort of your home. We really appreciate the value that it provides, and we hope that you do as well. If you're a client and you are doing a one-on-one training service, you would then click on the Client tab. This is going to pull you to a two-way video conference call similar to Skype or Google Hangouts, and you'd be able to complete your one-on-one training service with the trainer at the designated time that you would set up, whether that would be through your or for your Core 6 assessment or for your ongoing one-on-one training services. Once again, this is how you would access your virtual streaming options through the site. If you have any questions, you can reach out at admin@fluidhealthandfitness.com. In this segment, we're going to show you how to complete your member profile questionnaire. You'll notice that in the left navigation bar, there's a notifications indicator that says that there's 7 to-do or action items. Each of these items are a portion of the health history questionnaire that you'll want to complete before you meet with your movement specialist for your first assessment. If you notice, you can click on one of these options and it will immediately hyperlink you to the beginning of the questionnaire, where you can complete the answers here and then submit it. You can also notice that under My Data, you'll be able to access the same portions of these questionnaires to be able to update the information later. We use this information to create a personalized care plan for you, and as you move forward in the program, as you improve, you'll be able to come back in and make notifications or modifications to that questionnaire. We're going to ask you to do this once every 6 months. Once again, though, you can access it from either the Notifications tab under Action Items or through My Data. Either way, we'd prefer that you complete all of these questionnaires before you meet for your initial consultation. In this segment, we're going to show you how to connect your heart rate variability account with the Fluid Movement app. Recognize that Fluid Health and Fitness has a business relationship with Elite Heart Rate Variability. Heart rate variability is a way of tracking your autonomic nervous system to look for improvements in your overall health, but also as an acute relationship or indicator for the amount of stress or strain that your body's under, so that you can use the results from the assessment through Elite Heart Rate Variability to reduce the exercise intensity on the Fluid platform. This is a core functionality that we provide through the application here, and it's one that's going to help you to reduce injuries, to be able to recover more efficiently, and to help regulate your lifestyle and behaviors so that you can improve your health. Again, to access the HRV, you'll go to your notifications and then go to complete HRV sign up. Here, you'll be able to add in your email and password for your login for this site. Now, before you can do that, you'll need to go to your Android or iOS platform on your phone and physically download the app. The app is free, and all you need to do is add an email and password to be able to go into the app. We will showcase how to do that in this tutorial, so pay attention here in the next couple minutes and we'll be able to actually show you that. Once you actually log in though and you create the account, you can sync it by adding your email and password. Make sure to select this Keep Me Signed In and then hit Sign In. It will ask you to authorize your account and sync it with the Fluid app, and then you can hit Accept, and then it will then allow you to see your heart rate variability scores in the dashboard component of the site, where if you have done the test, you can refresh the page and it'll show up and give you an adjusted session effort score for the day, meaning it'll tell you if you need to reduce your exercise intensity or increase your exercise intensity based on your Core 6 assessment that you're going to complete when you do your biomechanical score with us at the outset of the program and then every 12 weeks. That information that's also going to be kept is going to be your resting heart rate for that day and your variability score. Remember, heart rate variability is an indicator of your autonomic nervous system activity and the reflection of your vagal tone or nerve on your heart as impacted or again controlled by your central nervous system, and then you'll have a comparison against your last scans and then a 30-day average. Again, if you want to reduce or change your heart rate score or HRV access, I should say, you can hit My Account and then go to the bottom. If you have an account set up, you will be able to access a tab that says Disconnect Heart Rate Variability. You would click there at the bottom under Edit Profile Information, and then you can reset the account or your HRV account through that same access point at a later point. Again, if you did want to see your information, you can also go to My Data and you'll be able to see your heart rate variability score and the resting heart rate and the date of the last assessment. You can also refresh the information by clicking on the Refresh tab, and that would pull the most recent test that you took through Elite Heart Rate Variability so that would update against the platform. Once again, you'll need to update the app, download it to your phone, create a sign-in, link it to the account, and then use it throughout the week. We recommend that you do at least 4 readings and do the workout or the reading before the workout for the day, so you can have relevant information about your recovery and improvement and health. In this segment, we're going to go over the Core 6 movement analysis or biomechanical screen. One of the core attributes of fluid health and fitness is the assessment of your functional movement and the grades that you receive from the assessments that we give to qualify the level of intensity that you should be participating in when exercising. This is a protective measure to not only make sure that you work out at the right intensity range, but also to improve your overall posture and functional movement so that you can avoid injuries and continue to train into the future. So with fluid, what we would have you do is go into your My Data, and then you can access the assessment through your movement tab here, where it's going to say start your Core 6 assessment. Now again, you would be meeting with a fluid movement specialist in order to complete this assessment. So bear in mind that this would be something that you would be doing with the help of a trainer. And if you're doing this virtually, the trainer would be conducting the assessment on his or her tablet or platform while you complete the movement assessment in front of them. So what you would do is click this Core 6 Start or assessment, and it's going to ask you a series of questions on 6 of the areas of the body. We have it listed as cervical, thoracic, or static neck. Now, if you answer these questions in a negative way, or if you test positive to any of the distortions that we see with these areas of the body, you're going to receive a score that would keep you from moving forward into another advanced level of assessment. This way we can stage your exercise intensities and make sure that you only work out at the range of intensity that's appropriate for you. So as you go through this, there's going to be several questions that's going to be asked of you. Each of the questions comes with a scoring system of good, average, and poor based on the axis of rotation or the base of support for each of these areas. And then the scores then coordinate with a point system. Good would receive 3 points, average would receive 2, and poor would receive 1. The accumulation of these points will then total against the total score that you have available or that you could have available, and you need to at least reach 85% of the total score in order to move forward into the next level of assessment. There are 9 different assessments available for each area of the body that coordinate through with 3 different levels or phases of training and 9 different levels of exercise. So as you go through, you would answer these questions, and each of these questions would then coordinate with an outcome or score for each of these areas. Once again, there are 6 areas. We have neck, we have shoulders, and we'll go through each of these. We have trunk coming up. We have hips or lumbopelvic. We have femoroacetabular or legs. And finally, we have talocrural or ankles. Once you've completed the assessment, which you would do with the assistance, once again, of a personal trainer or a movement specialist, your areas of your body would be graded, and you would receive scores that would coordinate with the level of exercise intensity that you'll complete in either our group classes and or one-on-one personal training. You'll notice that I received a level 1 for all of my scores based on the way that the answers to the questions were received. I can go to my neck area, click on that area, and then it will pull up the results of the assessment, tell me what my score was against the total, and again what the relationships were that were answered or how they were answered, and then how that would relate to your movement bias and your overall movement function. In fluid health and fitness, we have 2 basic postural biases. One is called flexion, or otherwise hypolordosis, and we also have another called extension dominant or bias, and that's hyperlordosis. If you click on the icon to the left, you'll notice what that means. It gives a description of what that means, and there's a video tutorial that you can follow that gives specific exercises to help restore the overall postural asymmetry. So again, you would access that through your main page, and again, the areas for the opposite levels or the escalated levels are blocked off until you're able to pass or get at least 85% of the total from that score. Again, what you can do from the dashboard is also look at the adjusted session level based on your heart rate variability data that we went over in the prior module. If you receive an HRV score from that assessment that shows a low adjusted session effort, that would reflect on the levels that you have here. If your level was a level 3 and you received a low score from your heart rate variability, it would automatically relay or pull the exercise intensity for that particular workout or that day down to a level 1. That way we can always contraindicate or reduce the exercise intensity based on your body's autonomic nervous system activity and the reflection of how much stress your body is under. So that again would reflect here. If you'd like to, you can always go to your Course 6 overview and see what your scores were in each of your areas. This is going to be a spark line or a trend line of the assessments that you take over the course of multiple assessments. You'll be able to see your improvement over the course of multiple assessments, and you'll also be able to go to your movement library and then access all the videos that would be associated with the corrective exercises that you would be able to use as a tutorial, and then be able to pull up the video and actually access.
So for this week's posture movement check, we're going to
as a tutorial. So just know that this is all available to you with your membership, and you'd be able to then reassess every 12 weeks to get your Core 6 new results, and then be able to move forward into different levels of exercise. So if you have any questions on any of this information, feel free to reach out to us at admin@fluidhealthandfitness.com. And again, this is the Core 6 movement biomechanical screen. Welcome back, guys. In this segment, we're going to talk about the nutrition tab on your dashboard. At Fluid Health and Fitness, every member receives a free nutritional consultation with a registered dietitian. In addition to that, we make sure that every person has a specific nutrition profile that coordinates with the level of activity that they complete on a weekly basis. So your daily caloric intakes are going to be given to you based on the level of exertion and the number of classes that you complete. So in order to do that, what you'll notice first off is that you can go to your user profile over here, go to your account, and then what you would want to do is make sure to update your biomarkers. Now, body fat percentage can be calculated through an electrical impedance test. There are devices that you can purchase. Otherwise, you can purchase one from Fluid Health and Fitness or do it on site if you're here physically at one of our physical locations. So if we put our body fat percentage in, our weight in, the waist circumference, again, this is not going to be critical or needed in order to calculate this. We also track systolic and diastolic heart rate or blood pressure. And then the level of exercise or how many days of exercise you'll be completing. So if you're going to do 5 or more, you would select 5 days. You would want to put your daily activity factor in. So let's say you're again a administrative worker, you would hit sedentary, and then you would want to select whether you want to maintain or gain weight or then lose weight. So I'm going to select lose weight. You would hit edit profile information, and that's going to save the information onto this main dashboard and update the database with this information. Using the biomarkers, you'll be able to go to your nutrition calorie calculator, and what you'll notice here is that your calorie calculation has been established with a basal metabolic rate calculated, what your daily caloric intake would be if you were to try to lose weight, and what your total daily caloric deficit would be with a modest deficit of 25% of your total daily caloric expenditure. If you adhere to that expenditure, your estimated weight loss would be 1 pound per week, and again, it would calculate what your adipose or fat tissue would be and what your lean tissue would be. In addition to that, you'll get your macronutrient guidelines for protein, carbohydrate, and fat, and both protein calories and grams, carbohydrate calories and grams, and fat calories and grams. This is used to be able to calculate what your nutritional needs would be based on the amount of activity that you would be committed to. So as your weight changes or as your activity levels change, you would need to go back into your profile, make the update under the profile with that new information, and then you would see the reflection in your macronutrient guidelines given. Again, you can review that with your registered dietitian at your appointment at the outset of the program, or you can choose to meet with the dietitian on an ongoing basis for personal or private sessions or group sessions, as both are provided, and you can do so through the virtual portal as well. So if you need any more information on any of that, you can reach out to us at admin@fluidhealthandfitness.com. In this segment, we're going to review the cardiovascular component of the Fluid exercise program. At Fluid, we use cardiovascular conditioning or zone-based heart rate work in every aspect of our exercise protocols. Whether that's our cardio exercise programs or our resistance exercise programs, there is some level of metabolic conditioning built into the periodization model. What that means is that you'll be tracking heart rate with every workout. We do this to make sure that the cardiovascular progressions that we use will create positive adaptations and allow you to increase your body's ability to burn fat, as well as improve your overall health and your body's metabolic efficiency. It's very important to maintain these in order to maintain your health and to avoid injuries and diseases down the road. So in order to do that, what you'll want to do is calculate your heart rate zones. Now under cardio, you can click on cardio zones and you'll notice that there are 4 different zones, or rather 5 different zones given, with a total zone description in each of these areas, as well as a low-end heart rate and a high-end heart rate given. In order to change the numbers here, what you'll need to do is complete a cardiovascular assessment. The cardiovascular assessment is completed at the outset of your relationship. So when we complete your biomechanical screen and you've been cleared to be able to engage in cardiovascular work, and there's no restrictions for heart rate given by your general practitioner, if there are any, then we would complete a graded maximal exertion test, which you can do either at the facility or from the comfort of your home. Now in that facility or at home, you would be given, again, a type or variant based on the type of exercise that we would have you do for the test. You would receive a top-end heart rate at the end of the test, including a heart rate variability score that you would track using the heart rate variability app that we talked about earlier. And then you would be able to record the amount of work and stages that you completed, and the stages again are done in minute increments. Again, the test is called a graded maximal exertion test. You would then complete that again with a trainer, and they would give you specifics on how to complete the test and navigate you through that test. At the end of the test, once you got to your top workload and then your top heart rate, you would recover for 2 minutes and record your top or your bottom recovery heart rate and your bottom recovery heart rate variability. Now again, that would be submitted, and we would use the top end heart rate to calculate what your zones would be. Now the zones again are going to coordinate with the circuits that are given during our workouts, and they are progressed and periodized over the course of every workout through the history of your time with Fluid. If you have any questions on any of this, make sure to reach out to us at admin@fluidhealthandfitness.com, or you can talk to your movement specialist when you do your initial onboarding or during a one-on-one private session.
Alright guys, this is how we're going to set up our Elite HRV account on your phone. I'm going to access the App Store through an Android platform. The steps may be a little bit different for a iOS platform or Apple product. Either way, what you would do is access your Apple Store, your Play Store, and you're going to look for Elite HRV in your directory. It is a free app, so when you find the Elite HRV app, go ahead and click install. It is free, so there should be no other fees. We have a business preferred relationship with Elite, meaning that they have the information on their server and it pushes to our server once you've completed an assessment with them. We use Elite as a means of garnering information about your autonomic nervous system activity we use a heart rate strap that's a Bluetooth strap that connects to the app, and then it gathers the information of your heartbeats or between your heartbeats, measuring the reading or the spaces between your heartbeats, and it actually gives us an indicator of your autonomic activity. So it's a lot like an electrocardiogram or an EKG. So what we'll do is open the app, and we're going to create a generic account here today. So once it loads up, again, I'm going to hit cancel. I'm going to bring myself back to the main menu and hit get started. So I have to agree to the terms. So I'm going to put in my generic email that I created earlier, hrvuser@gmail.com, and then put in my name and password. So we suggest that you use the same email and password that you would use for the Fluid app so that you don't forget. So you'll hit sign up, and then it's going to ask you why you're motivated, and then ask you to connect with the device. Now, we sell heart rate straps here. It's Bluetooth devices that sync to the phone, or you can use another sensor that you can purchase from Elite Heart Rate Variable. We recommend this chest strap. So I'm going to click strap. It's going to automatically ask you to connect. It's going to bring you to the main menu of the heart rate strap here, or of the application. And it's going to look for different straps that you can, again, attach to the sensor. So we're not going to do that right now for the sake of time. But what you can do, again, is, let's move past this, hit cancel. Take a snap or a look at what the platform looks like. They've got about 5 different options here. One is a home menu where they have different blog sources and topics that you can read on. We have an analytics tab for when you when you continually obtain new readings to look at trend lines. You've got a new entry tab where you can do different types of entries. So you can do a morning readiness. That's the most universally used reading. You can do that either in the morning when you wake up, or right before the workout when you come to the facility, or use this for when we're doing our workouts virtually. And then you can, again, look for other teams and participate with other teams. There's some other functionalities. Being a preferred member here with Elite, we don't have to do that through this option. And then finally, we have, again, account settings. 2 major things that you're going to want to think about or use here is connect HRV monitor or HR monitor. So you can look for the available devices as long as your Bluetooth settings are connected, and then connect that monitor, which is going to then save it for you. And you also want to go into reading options. Under reading options, there's 2 key things. One, we want to make sure that the time that you give yourself to get into the first reading or while you're doing your morning readiness is 30 seconds. So it gives you enough time to start the process, lay down, get comfortable before the reading starts taking place. And then you want your morning readiness duration to be set to 3 minutes. You want to make sure that we have at least enough data that it's clinically relevant, and we want to see 3 minutes of data being obtained before you sync it to the server. And we'd like to ideally see you do that 4 times a week. So again, you would hit done. That's going to save it. You can go back to, again, the morning readiness reading. It's going to look for the heart rate strap that would be connected to the device, and then pull that up, and then you can see again that the heart rate and the variability score are there. If you want to conduct and actually create a session, you would just hit start. Again, it gives you that 30-second clock or time down, and then once that hits, it's going to immediately start the 3-minute reading. And then at the end of the reading, it's going to ask you to, again, accept, answer a few questions, and then save it to the server. Very important you save it to the server for that information to be uploaded to the dashboard of the Fluid app. So just make sure that you complete that at the time of your reading. If you have any questions, again, reach out to admin@fluidhealthandfitness.com.